Hi everybody and welcome to the History of Management Thought. Why is history important? Let's try to answer that question first. George Santayana, Spanish philosopher, poet, literary and cultural critic, said, "A country without memory is a country of madmen." Exactly the same expression we can use for profession or a field without memory, because profession without memory is also full of madmen. History is our collective memory because it provides foundation and understanding of the historical context of the times and theories. If we lack connection to the past, we can lose touch with realities of the present, and if history maybe not repeat itself, it rhymes a lot. And that was the quote associated to Mark Twain, American humorist, novelist, writer and lecturer. So what are the benefits of studying history? The first benefit of studying history is because it is acquisition of knowledge and wisdom and the development of judgment. History is a powerful resource and teacher, but we have to understand that knowledge in any given period is a reflection of culture, conditions, and capabilities of the time and people. For example, we can illustrate what is the relationship between Industrial Revolution and development of scientific management, and maybe how Roaring Twenties and Great Depression influence behavioral approach to management. The second benefit of studying history is that it illustrates the role of environments, raises awareness of potentialities, and complements technical knowledge. It indicates the presence or repetition of patterns and trends, for example, some cyclical repetition of recessions. The third benefit of studying history is that it establishes collective memory and teaches of human nature. Historical approach widens our horizons about human nature, about people as individuals or groups, how they behave, how they can cooperate, how they can be organized, how they can be led. The next benefit of studying history is that it contributes to the moral good and good citizenship of students and other people. Managers directly or indirectly have potential to shape governments, control resources, determine economic progress, and mold societies. They have power to make the difference that can be either beneficial or damaging, placing on them great social responsibility and moral obligations. History can play a role in developing ethical judgments indicative to moral courage. The last benefit of studying history is that it informs and guides research, because management history and the knowledge of relevant contextual factors help to frame the right questions to ask in research efforts. So, why history then of management thought? There are a number of reasons for that as well. One of them is that in every job you ever have, you will be managed or be responsible for managing other people. Doesn't matter in which type of organization you might yourself working in the future. The way in which this is done is direct result of how the concept of management has evolved over time, and you will see that it is a collection of thoughts and ideas of many management thinkers and practitioners. The other reason is that some management practices have lasted for centuries, while others have been replaced, which is just explaining their historical nature. We also want to learn why have some lasted and others fallen out of practice. So we can't take anything for granted. So the way you work today, how long you work, where and for who, has its roots in history. Therefore, we need to understand the past in order to explain, appreciate, and change the present, and to identify certain patterns and trends which maybe do not repeat themselves, but they definitely rhyme a lot. It brings us to the history of management thought model, and through our course we are going to heavily use this model and three-step approach. The first step is investigating historical context and how it is important. So what is going on in the world in political, technical, economic, sociological and social sense? How is that influencing management? So what is their influence on development of management thought? The second step is how is that articulated in management theories and the hypotheses of thinkers of the time? So are they product of their time and how they influence their time? And the last step is its reflection and how it is reflected in contemporary management practice and theory. How we can recognize that in contemporary business world. So what are the course objectives? There are a few of them, and one of them is to identify major theories of management and discuss their elements clearly and coherently. So we'll talk about the scientific management, then the behavioral approach to management, then management science and motivation, and some contemporary and modern theories as well. The other objective is to understand and explain the historical context, and that context, as I already mentioned, can be political, can be economic, can be social and technological to the current management theories and practice. We also want to understand and discuss cultural factors which give rise to particular management theories at a particular time and how those theories evolve over time. We also want to develop the basic structure of a conceptual framework to enable you to integrate your studies of management. And this course will tremendously help you in understanding some future concepts and some future courses you are going to do as a part of your future studies and programs. Also, we are going to use certain academic tools that you can write clearly, present a logical argument, and use conventional academic referencing schemes which will definitely lift your academic profile and help you in your further studies. Some of the topics we will cover in this course will include, just for example, the Industrial Revolution that completely changed the way in which people work and an organization were structured. We are in the midst of technology or internet revolution, which is having an equal, if not bigger, impact on the way in which we work today. So, what are the parallels between the Industrial Revolution and the current technology revolution? We'll try to answer some questions like that. Additionally, scientific management and the rise of it saw businesses to strive for efficiency and productivity. In our contemporary world, McDonald's and Subways are examples of organizations today who still practice scientific management. Over time, managers have developed different strategies for leading and motivating employees. And Apple with Steve Jobs and Virgin with Richard Branson could be given as examples of charismatic leadership and transformational leadership. On this slide you can see photos of a number of thinkers who contributed to the management thought. It is not so important to memorize each one of them, but to recognize how many minds have contributed to management thought over the years, and that management body of knowledge is not an invention of a Superman, but a collection of thoughts, ideas, experiments and practices of many thinkers and practitioners, separated by geography and time, but united in purpose and objectives. And at the end, we can summarize that we will study the history of management thought as the diachronic subject, which means that we are going to address that throughout time. And we study management thought which was developed in the past in order to critique it, question it, and consider whether and how it may or may not be relevant both in today's and tomorrow's organizations. And this is the end of this introductory session. Thank you very much for your attention, and I am looking forward to seeing you in tutorials. Thank you.